Sanctioned Ivan is a Russian YouTuber who gained popularity by sharing his perspective on Russia, his love for cars, and documenting his journey of leaving Russia for Thailand. Ivan has amassed over 50,000 subscribers and 7 million views in just 2 years on YouTube. Ivan joins us to discuss his origin story, his best videos on the channel, moving to Thailand, car culture, and what the future holds. Join us for this exclusive Advertising Week interview with Sanctioned Ivan.
All right, awesome. I am joined by Ivan from Sanctioned Ivan on YouTube. Ivan, thank you so much for joining us for the interview.
Yeah, thanks for having me here. It's awesome to be here. Nice to see you. Nice to see you all on the channel.
To get started, tell us a little bit about Ivan before YouTube. Where were you from? What was your childhood like?
Wow, that's a really long way back, but I'm from Russia, from Moscow, but I've lived in Ireland for 11 years because I actually went to school there, middle school, high school. And then after that, I went back to Russia for university, which I did not finish. So that's basically my background. I've lived in Ireland, lived in Russia. Yeah.
And when you were growing up, what did you want to do when you were older?
Well, when I was in school, I was always interested in business. I always wanted to have my business. Or I remember I used to watch YouTubers like Casey Neistat. You probably remember all the daily YouTubers that used to push out videos every single day. And it was just so interesting to see their lives. Because I was in school and my day-to-day life was waking up, going to school, coming back home, doing homework. So that way I could see how, some new places, different things that people are up to. And I just thought that YouTubing was very cool because YouTubers got to fly around the world. They got invited to different events. Getting different products, when they get some sort of a phone to review or something like that from a company, it was just great. So I always wanted to start my YouTube channel. As a matter of fact, I actually had around 10 YouTube channels since I was around, I would say 12 or 13 years old, because I always wanted to do it.
So how long after that was it that you started your current channel and really started taking it seriously?
Well, it really all began, this is a little backstory, right? So I worked for a transportation company in the United States from Russia. So I was like a car broker, moving cars around the States. And obviously when the war broke out, the sanctions hit Russia, and the first thing they did was they disconnected SWIFT. Obviously, me being in Russia, getting paid from America, it wasn't possible because there's no SWIFT payments, and obviously nobody is going to be paying you in crypto because a company has to, have every single dollar they sent out to be accounted for. So they said, either you go to another country and continue working for us, or you could just, we're going to pay you somehow your last payment and you can go. So that's what I did. And during that time, I actually bought myself and my girlfriend a ticket over to Turkey because, I thought, oh, wow, I have a job. I could buy myself a ticket to go on a week holiday with my girlfriend. And so it's all great. Life is starting to be good. And after I got fired, I was like, I might as well still go to Turkey and maybe during the holidays, figure out what I'm going to be doing next. Obviously, during the holidays, I had no idea. I was just having fun, swimming, doing the typical holiday stuff. And I came back to Russia and I was just brainstorming, what am I going to be doing? And this is actually true. Every single year I tried to start a YouTube channel. So I'd post out a video and see if it would go or not. And I came back and I was like, okay.
Just one video?
Yeah, one or two. But obviously when you're not getting any views whatsoever, that's the big problem. You think you're going to get thousands of views straight away. It doesn't work that way. But I had this iPhone 10 that I had for 5 or 6 years. And I was like, I might as well record a video about what's going on in Russia because everybody was so interested because it was kind of closed off in a second. So I started walking around. My first video was me going to a McDonald's that shut down. I was like, oh, look at this, an abandoned McDonald's. And just started walking around, uh, edited the video, and I was like, okay, I need a channel. And like, no kidding, I actually like my channel name, but it took me 5 minutes. Okay, I was like, my name is Ivan, and I'm under sanctions right now, so I'm gonna name the channel Sanctioned. And I just did it for the fun, posted out the video, went to bed, woke up, and had like 400 views. I'm like, wow, that's crazy, because it's when you have 0 subscribers and you get like 400 views straight away.
Yeah.
That's, you already know something is happening. So I just started making more and more and more videos, and the channel just started growing.
Yeah, super interesting. And right away, were your fans from the States primarily?
Yes, primarily from the States and from Europe, basically.
Okay.
I have like small percentages of like Eastern Europe and stuff like that, but it's the majority of subscribers are from Western countries.
What was the video? What was the like first video that really took off, that went crazy viral and brought a lot of subscribers? Because I imagine along the way you're posting every day. I mean, not every video is going to be 100,000 views.
Well, my first video that got like 150,000 views was when I had around like 1,000 subscribers, and it was totally by accident. I posted out a video and I named it Destroyed Russian City, because I went to like this city which was like just run down, and everything was falling apart. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna call it Destroyed City. I posted it out and I forgot about it. And then 2 or 3 weeks later, I just like see subscribers going up. I'm like, what's going on? And then I started looking through the through the YouTube studio. Where are those people coming from? And I see that there's a video called Destroyed Russian City getting thousands of views. I'm like, why is this happening? So I Google in Destroyed Russian City, and there was just like a bunch of news of like drone attacks or something like that in Russia. So my video became like the first video. If you would like Google Destroyed Russian City, it was like the first thing that pops up my video on Google. So I was like, okay. And a lot of people started saying, that's clickbait, that's clickbait. I'm like, come on, guys. I posted this video ages ago. What are you talking about?
Even if it was, it worked, right? It brought a lot of people to the channel. Yeah. A lot of those people subscribe and are still watching till today, right?
Yeah, definitely.
What was going on actually in Russia at this time? Like around, I guess at this point we're a couple months in, right, to the new channel.
Yeah.
What was it like? Just curious. Obviously, people can learn more by watching the videos, but the bank situation seems pretty substantial. Was life a lot different in Russia?
Well, it hasn't really changed much. The prices kind of like went up really quick, and then it became more or less stable. But without having banks or anything like that, obviously it was hard, because you can't do anything outside of Russia financial wise. And that's when I really fell in love with crypto, because crypto is one of those things, no matter what sanctions you got, you can always move money around the place. Yeah. So this sounds like I'm beginning to warm up the audience for like some crypto course or something like that.
Yeah, I'll add the promo code in the description. What made you leave Russia, and why Thailand?
Well, that's actually a very interesting question. So I actually came back from Turkey to Russia after living in Turkey for like 9 or 10 months, because first of all, it was impossible to renew a residency there, because they started making new laws in Turkey. So we've decided to go back to Russia with my girlfriend and my 2 cats. And we kind of hope that something is going to change, because you just, as a human, you believe that something is going to happen, something good, something positive, which obviously didn't. And then, everybody started talking in Russia about that there's probably going to be another wave of mobilization. And also a big factor for me that made me want to leave is because there are so many articles like, oh, this guy got a prison sentence for 5 years because he said he's up for peace. And I'm like, so if somebody goes on my channel, I'll probably get a life sentence in a Siberian gulag camp. And I was like, I rather go to another country and play it safe that way than always be sketched out walking around in Russia, because I don't even know what's in the heads of the government right now. They really just make all sorts of stupid different laws to control the people. So because obviously if everybody's going to be allowed to speak out their mind, something's going to change quick in Russia. So that's why they suppress it. And if somebody says something, they get sentenced to prison. It's like there was this woman that donated like $50 to some Ukrainian charity ages ago. Oh no, it wasn't. I think it was Navalny, the guy that got who died in prison. But there's a lot of conspiracies that he was, killed there.
Yeah.
He donated like $50 to him ages ago, and she lived in another country, and then she came back and she got a sentence for like 4 years in prison. And Russian prisons are not, American prisons. I would say that a Russian person would rather be in a maximum security prison where like El Chapo is in right now than just an ordinary Russian prison,
And so when you were thinking about leaving, I'm guessing you have family and friends that are still there, right? Like that's a really big decision, like personally. What was the thought process behind, leaving, and what is your attitude towards going back at some point, just even to visit?
Well, my family are supportive of me leaving because they have the same mindset as me, or maybe I have the same mindset as them, because they're like, well, there's no future right now in this country, and it's very dangerous. And I don't really have a lot of friends in Russia. I mean, I talk to a lot of people, but they're not like friends. And a lot of people in Russia, they're also kind of like their mind got changed. So they're like, oh yeah, nothing's gonna happen. I'm just gonna be walking around here, and I'm not gonna get mobilized, and I'm not gonna be put to prison for like absolutely no reason. And nobody really thinks about it. They're kind of living their life just in today's day. They're not thinking about tomorrow or the day after, not talking about years to come. And talking about, will I want to come back? Obviously, I love my country. I don't like the government. And I really hope that if something changes for the good, which I really doubt at the moment, but if it really changes, I would love to come back, because in the right hands, I think Russia could be such an amazing country. I mean, the amount of resources that the country has and the amount of smart people that left to the States and other countries, but they can come back and, restart Russia, because, this has been going for many, many years. All the smart people were always leaving Russia. Like you look at, IT specialists in the States, programmers, scientists, there's going to be a lot of Russian people there.
Yeah, definitely. And so why Thailand? You've been to Thailand. You were in Thailand before moving there, right? Had you been there a few times or just once?
I've been here actually a few times. When I was a kid with my grandparents, I've been here twice.
Because it's a popular destination for Russians to go to Thailand, right?
Yeah, it is. It's very popular because, we don't need a visa. We just kind of get in. We get a stamp and a passport. The passport for 90 days. Now it's changed to 60. But you pretty much don't have to pay for a visa or anything. You fly in. It's relatively cheap compared to Russia. Well, it is cheaper than Russia. So you kind of come in, you rent an apartment, or you stay in a hotel, and just ends up being an amazing holiday. And before we came this time, I was here around, I don't remember when. I would say 3 or 4 months ago, I actually flew here to basically record videos and kind of have, my flashbacks of the days when I was like a kid walking around here. So that's why we kind of chose to come back here, because we were here a few months ago. It's the same with Turkey, funnily enough. We were in Turkey a month or 2 months before we actually left Russia and went there. So it feels like every country we go for holidays, it's like just scouting out the area to see if it's possible to live here.
And so when you decided to go to Thailand, are you living there like for 60 days, or you can stay longer period? Like, did you arrange so that you could stay longer?
Well, yeah, obviously it's not that hard, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, the amount of visa opportunities here are great. I mean, you could start a business, you could you know, learn Thai language, you could, you know, go to a Muay Thai gym or something like that and get a visa for you just basically going to the gym, learning how to fight. You
Yeah.
know, there's loads of different ways of doing it.
So some of the content that you did in Thailand that I enjoyed was this. I really like the Songkran video, the water
Yeah.
festival, which it was almost like you got caught by surprise, I think, that day when you were.
Yeah, I
'Cause it's
was.
like a
I
multi.
thought that it's like 1 or 2 days,
Yeah, it's
and
like a
me and
weekend,
Evelina
right?
were. Yeah, but it was gone for a week. It was just a week of full-on water warfare on the streets. You know, it was crazy, and I found out about that it started when me and Evelina. I got this new camera that I'm actually using right now. It's called Osmo Pocket 3, and it's quite expensive. And I was like, okay, finally, I'm gonna use it. And some British guys on the bad bus, which I call the tuk-tuks, they're like, "Oh, so you guys ready for the song run? It's crazy stuff going out there." I'm like, "It it starts in 5 days. What are you talking about?" He's like, "You're gonna get splashed with water already, going through like it drives through bar streets and stuff like that." So we started getting splashed little by little. I'm like, "Evelina, we gotta step off right now and get a taxi." And she's like, "Oh, those guys are lying. They're just trying to make us scared of the song grab and stuff like that." Thank God we ordered a taxi that day. The people were literally getting like destroyed with ice buckets of water, like huge ones. So me with a brand new camera and a microphone, that just get destroyed. It's like no waterproof in this camera whatsoever. So I was afraid of that. But it's definitely a fun um, celebration.
Yeah.
I never saw something like that where the whole city is just going wild with water guns. Everybody's having fun. Yeah, it's amazing. But I did run into a few angry people, like a Russian guy that was flipping me off because I was spraying him with water. I mean,
Yeah.
what does he expect? He's
Yeah. I
walking through a
mean,
street where everybody's getting destroyed,
everybody's
and he
fair
was the
game, I
driest
think, in
one.
Songkran. You know, you just if you don't
Yeah.
want to get wet, you can't leave your house, basically. So, what type of stuff do you plan to do in the future? I mean, car content, Thailand content. Do you have any destinations in mind, or exciting projects that you want to show people in Thailand?
Well, first of all, I want to. The reason I actually bought a car in Thailand is, because you watched the channel a bit. I'm planning to drive around a lot of places here, like a lot of different locations. And obviously, with this car, you can travel and also infiltrate the Thai car culture, which I'm trying to do right now. So, for example, I got invited to go to a race on the
Hmm.
weekend. So, the place where I fix up my car, he has a race team. And he's like, "Oh yeah, you can go to the pits with us, record, and see how people are racing. You put the cameras inside of the race car. I mean, that's pretty cool."
Yeah.
In Russia, they would be like, "What are you talking about? Get out of here!" They wouldn't allow that. So that's really cool. And all sorts of different locations, which usually tourists don't really go to, because when you fly into Thailand, you kind of just go around that little area where you live, or you take a taxi to like a shopping mall or something like that. Maximum you would go to like an elephant farm or somewhere else as a tour. But you don't go to like all sorts of random places because you're kind of like stuck in one place and you don't have a car. And I want to start driving around all sorts of different locations where tourists can't really go to. And I think that's going to be very interesting as well.
What words do you have for the supporters that have been on along the journey since the beginning, or support you more recently?
Oh, I got to say that, first of all, it's a blessing for sure. I mean, those people are amazing. I truly think that my YouTube channel has one of the best communities ever, because even when I do live streams or something, like that, everybody knows each other and everybody talks to each other and talks to me and talks between each other. I also made a Discord because a few people were asking me to do it, and everybody is chatting around there. It's amazing, and the support is amazing. Everybody's watching YouTube videos, liking the videos, commenting, giving ideas. A lot of people are supporting me as well. Like when I do a live stream, I sometimes put a donation goal, and some people, who want to support me that way, they could do it. Obviously, you could either sit around and watch, which is like the most important part for me. But sometimes people throw in a few dollars in, which is amazing. I mean, I wouldn't have imagined something like that happening when I was starting up the YouTube channel.
Yeah, no, well, it's a testament to all the hard work that you put in and all the great videos. I'm curious where do you want to take this? Like, what are your short-term, long-term goals? Where do you want the YouTube journey to take you as, a creator and a person?
Well, I'm still learning how to do YouTube because I still have no clue, whatsoever. I'm just kind of, I really don't know what I'm doing. So I'm trying to learn more in depth how the algorithms work and all that good stuff, so that I would be able to grow the channel, work on it and stuff like that. But obviously, I think that the ultimate goal is to grow the channel. And if I find some opportunity of a interesting business for me to do, I would definitely start it up, because my YouTube channel would then be a really good platform to advertise it.
Totally.
Obviously not like some, I don't know. I prefer to make something physical, a thing that you could touch, not like stuff, crypto course or whatever people do now, stuff like that.
Do a course. Please don't have your business be a course. I say you.
No, I would rather have like real estate,
Yeah, or
real
sell
estate.
insurance. Sell life insurance to your subscribers. It's better than a course.
Or real estate as well, because you never know. Like my ultimate goal is to go to the States, right? I don't know where my channel is going to be at that point when I make it, but when you have a large following, in the future, if you start up, for example, a real estate company, everybody already knows you well. Like they see from like every single day videos of what you do, where you live basically, and stuff like that. And you get this sort of connection like a viewer with a content creator. So I think it's a great way to, work it through, because I have noticed that every single YouTube channel has a lifespan.
Yeah.
One day, YouTube channels just die. And I think it's good to have a plan B and start doing it earlier. So, for example, if something happens, you never know. It's sometimes like channels with 10 million subscribers get like 1,000, 2,000 views nowadays. So you kind of want to do some things on the side, so you're always kind of like protected,
Yeah, definitely. I'm curious, if you were to talk to, your younger self, or a fan that sees your channel and is inspired by what you're doing and wants to start their own channel, or maybe has a different dream that they want to go after, what type of advice would you have for that person?
Well, if somebody wants to start a YouTube channel, I think they should just find, what they love doing. Because a lot of people start a YouTube channel thinking that, oh yeah, I'm going to post out a video, make 1 million views, 1 million subscribers, and be a gazillionaire. That doesn't happen. If you want to do YouTube, you don't have to expect getting money from it, at least for a very, 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 very long time. So you just got to do what you enjoy, because if you do what you enjoy on videos, you're not going to get bored of it, and you're going to start producing more and more content. And that way your channel could grow, because there's so many people on this earth there's going to be at least a few thousand people that probably like what you like doing,
Yeah.
So for example, you're a filmmaker, you could make some little films, or if you enjoy cars, you can make car reviews or fixing up cars. There's just so many different things. If you have a very interesting life, you do all sorts of things, just record that. Or I actually like watching videos of, when I have time, of like different companies. They have like a YouTube channel and they're like, oh, today I'm gonna go to this abandoned looking house, knock on the door and ask them if they need like their lawn mowed and their driveway clean. It's like all like gunk and black stuff and stuff. They get millions of views.
Yeah.
Just from putting a camera down and that recording you cleaning up the place. So there's just so many different opportunities. You just have to keep pushing, keep doing the content, even if you're not getting subscriptions. Obviously, I'm not going to be telling fairy tales here. If you've been making YouTube videos for a year and you got 50 subscribers, you got to like change something, obviously,
Yeah.
or learn something new, because a big problem that I also found myself when I was starting a YouTube channel, once you get a few views, you start to be relaxed and you try not to put that much effort into making videos, and then your channel goes downhill. You always got to try to learn new things, like with video editing, with recording something. Always got to add something new to the channel, and that definitely interests the viewers of your channel. I don't even know what else to say, but just if your channel doesn't work out, try to do something else. Always learn something. Just Google how to edit a video, or there's a lot of free programs as well to edit videos that literally Hollywood uses, so yeah, don't do it in iMovie. Just try to learn a normal program and you'll be good.
Well, I think that your ability to kind of try different things and kill the things that didn't work and then hone in on the thing that worked, to hear from somebody that has a successful channel that you've started, 10 or 12 channels throughout your life, and you have one that's obviously working really well, and now you're focusing on this, should just show people, the type of dedication and work and persistence that it takes to get there. Because most people probably would have quit after 3 or 4, and I can tell in your content that you have a talent for it, and there's a reason you have such a loyal following. So I really appreciate you joining us for the conversation, and I'm very excited to see how long the car holds up. Knock on wood. I hope it does, because I would love to see you drive around Thailand. But I also love hearing the day ins and outs of dealing with your car as well. It keeps things really fun.
Yeah. What could be funner than that lemon breaking down in the middle of Thailand?
As long as you can get all the mechanical issues fixed before monsoon season rolls in, but that would make even better content.
What happens during the monsoon season?
It's basically just raining and wind and floods. But it depends. Depends where you are, though, and it could be like 3 days or 4 days of that, and then it could be nicer. But you're at risk during monsoon season for the pour down, for sure.
Right. But is it like for half an hour or something, that's just heavy
No,
rain?
I mean, last time I was, 2 times ago that I was there in October, actually. So it was like later on. There was like 6-7 days in a row where all it did was just rain, and half of Phuket was closed because there were floods and like roads were like landsliding, and it was pretty intense.
That's crazy. If that happens where I live, there was rain going on for like 2 hours. The whole street was flooded. Oh, yeah. So it rains for like 3 days. I don't know what's going to happen. It's going to be crazy.
Well, if things get really bad, you can just paint your car like a rubber ducky and float down the road,
No, I'll just buy myself a rubber dinghy with like an electric motor and just drive around, put tire in the boat. Why not?
Well, Well, thanks for joining. This was super fun conversation, and I'm excited to keep watching the channel.
Yeah, thanks for having me here.